Hey everyone, I'm Mark Leeming from Segue to Reason, where you can learn right now things that... And now for something completely different.
Now, as one successful YouTuber said concerning a small channel such as mine that sucks and no one really watches, that is small and still in its growing stages, that it allows the creator to step outside of his comfort zone, try something new. That way, if he makes a complete fool of himself, he's only doing it in front of 100 people rather than thousands. So let's begin by answering a question from one of my viewers. It comes from Ontario, Canada, by a man named Mark Leeming. Anyway, Mark Leeming writes, "Dear Mark Leeming, why should Christians debate with those who are critical of Christianity? Thanks, I am your greatest fan." So why should Christians debate with those who are critical of Christianity? Because it's biblical? Unfortunately, many modern Christians have been taught to believe that using logic, reason, and to debate in order to defend the gospel is somehow unbiblical. Debating logic and reason. Yet when you read the New Testament, it is very clear that the early church used logic, reason, and argumentation in order to spread the gospel. Take, for example, Jesus himself. Unlike modern preachers, he didn't get up, say his spiel, hold an altar call, and have his disciples take care of those who came forward while he went off backstage somewhere. No, Jesus would frequently engage his listeners. Anyone could ask him questions, even his opponents. In fact, Jesus was so good at answering his critics that they could never beat him, and so they decided to kill him. And then you have Acts chapter 6 and 7, the incident involving Stephen, where his opponents couldn't withstand his argumentation, and so they had him killed as well. Speaking of violence, I wonder what my viewers think of this change of format. In Acts chapter 18, we read about a man by the name of Apollos, who is described as a very learned man who was of great benefit to the church because he refuted Christianity's opponents in public debate. And contrary to what you might think, there's no record of him being killed. And last but not least, we have the Apostle Paul, who after his conversion and going back to Jerusalem, he began to debate with the Hellenistic Jews, and not surprisingly, they tried to kill him, but he managed to get away. In fact, the book of Acts clearly describes how Paul would use argumentation, reason, and debate in order to persuade people of the truth of the gospel. Now, I'm not saying that all Christians should be public debaters, but those who feel called to that ministry should be encouraged and not frowned upon. Because defending the gospel through argumentation, logic, reason, and debate is biblical! What kind of crazy dream was that? Let's hope I never make a video like that one.